we need to talk about what's coming next because it is going to blow your mind. Seriously, if you thought our current teams were crazy, just wait until you see this. We've got some massive account-changing leaks for Wuthering Waves, and it completely flips how we usually build our teams. Okay, picture this. Characters that don't just deal raw damage, but fundamentally change how you move around the open world and survive the absolute hardest content the game can throw at you. But before we break down all the juicy details, I have a quick favor to ask. If you love deep dive theory crafting and want to stay ahead of the meta, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. It really helps out a lot. We are a growing channel, and we are pushing so incredibly hard toward our next big goal, 300 subscribers. To celebrate hitting that milestone, I am going to do a free Lunite subscription giveaway for one lucky viewer. Entering is super simple. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel, drop a comment answering the question I'm going to ask you guys at the end of this video, and make sure to include your game UID right alongside your answer so I can get you that reward. It's that easy, so secure your spot, join the squad, and let's build this community up together. Alright, let's break this down. Hear me out because the sheer amount of kit innovation coming our way is staggering. We are looking at a very first sneak peek of two brand new characters slated to arrive sometime between the 3.6 and 3.8 version updates. Now, I know a lot of us are laser focused on version 3.5 right now, especially since highly anticipated characters like Yang Yang and Sui are very likely dropping then. But looking ahead to these upcoming patches changes our entire saving and pulling strategy. But before we jump into the rest of the events, a quick word from today's sponsor. Lootbar.gg is a site that gives you big discounts on your in-game purchases. Let's take Wuthering Waves as an example. You can actually see the price difference right away when you compare. The process is super simple. Pick the pack you want, click Top Up, choose your payment method, and that's it. Your rewards show up right on your account. And don't worry, your login info is completely cleared after the transaction, so it's safe. New users can get up to 21% off plus additional discount coupons from the link in the description. And yes, first-time top-up bonuses are available as well. We are getting 2 new main DPS units, and they are bringing some of the wildest mechanics we've ever seen. Let's kick things off with QINGXIAO. Forget everything you know about standard mobility in this game, because she is about to become your new best friend for open-world exploration. QINGXIAO is an arrow element sword user, and she is stepping right into the coveted main DPS role. But here is where it gets absolutely insane. She has a built-in sword-riding flight mechanic. Now, I don't mean a slow, floaty, stamina-draining glide that we are all used to. The early test data explicitly describes her flight as moving as fast as an aircraft or a jet. Imagine being able to completely bypass annoying terrain, giant cliffs, and long gaps by literally surfing on your sword at Mach speed. This is going to be a totally new way to explore the map, cutting down your echo farming routes and making daily traversal an absolute blast. Visually, QINGXIAO is described as an adult woman with an overall vibe that is somewhat similar to Changli. However, her aesthetic leans heavily into the cold and aloof sword immortal, or sectmaster archetype. So, if you love that graceful, untouchable, high fantasy martial arts master aesthetic, she is going to be an absolute must-pull for your account. Combat-wise, she is the ultimate wild card because she features a dual-form playstyle. Stance-switching characters always have the highest skill ceilings because they essentially give you 2 full kits wrapped into one. When she executes her enhanced heavy attack, she either unlocks or completely exits her dedicated sword immortal form. This kind of fluid flexibility means you are constantly adapting your combos on the fly depending on the enemy you are fighting. And the visual effects? Oh man, the damage ceiling just went through the roof. The early descriptions say her abilities literally manifest 10,000 swords onto the battlefield and then return them all back to their origin. Picture the absolute screen-clearing spectacle of that ultimate. Just an endless, gorgeous rain of arrow blades shredding through enemy health bars. It's going to be glorious, and I cannot wait to see how her AoE potential shakes up the current meta rankings. Next up, we have to talk about the man, the myth, the absolute unit, JINGRAN. For my husbando collectors out there, this is a massive deal because JINGRAN is currently set to be the only male character releasing for the rest of the entire year. Our last guy was Luke quite a few months back, so JINGRAN is carrying a ton of hype and expectations on his shoulders, and it sounds like he is going to deliver. Aesthetically, the early info suggests he looks a bit like an adult man version of Rover, specifically a darker, grittier take on our main character. He follows this really cool, deeply interesting, gold-touching grave robber archetype, which gives him this edgy underworld vibe that we haven't fully seen yet. But let's talk about his kit, because this is where the meta gets completely flipped on its head. Jingran is a fusion broadblade main DPS. Sounds pretty standard, right? Wrong. He is an HP and shield scaling damage dealer. In the early test versions, testers specifically noted that he felt like a literal boss monster, rocking around 50,000 HP and generating his own shields incredibly frequently. Let's talk about why we care about this from a team building perspective. Normally, your standard main DPS is a complete glass cannon. You constantly have to babysit them with dedicated healers and defensive supports just so they don't get one shot in the tower. Jingran basically does the job of two characters at once. He is the ultimate Swiss Army knife for your account. By scaling his massive damage output directly off his huge health pool and keeping himself constantly shielded, he compresses the roles of an unkillable tank and a primary damage dealer into a single party slot. This means you can run him with completely different, hyper-aggressive offensive supports. Because he doesn't need a healer, he simply refuses to die. Suddenly, all those echoes you rolled with HP percent substats aren't dead drops anymore, they are his best in slot gear. Just like QINGXIAO, Jingran also features a complex dual form mechanic, specifically walking the line between yin and yang states. His gameplay loop is incredibly active, involving frequently dashing back and forth across the battlefield before unleashing devastating enhanced heavy attacks. This hypermobile, aggressive playstyle on a traditionally slow broadblade user is going to feel so incredibly satisfying. And to top it all off, his ultimate is cinematic perfection. He summons a massive, imposing ghost gate directly onto the field, accompanied by a dynamic background music shift that heavily resembles Kong's epic boss theme. So not only is he going to hit like an absolute truck, but the sheer atmospheric quality of his ultimate is going to make every rotation feel monumental. This is going to be so much fun and a play around out with, guys. We are looking at a future patch cycle where we get a hyper-fast jet-flying arrow swordmaster and an unkillable shield-generating fusion broadblade juggernaut. They both utilize dual forms, they both push the boundaries of what main DPS characters are physically capable of in the game engine, and they both look absolutely phenomenal on paper. Now remember, while we don't have exact release dates nailed down firmly just yet, all signs currently point to them dropping somewhere between version 3.6 and 3.8. This gives us plenty of time to sit back, save our pulls, plan our account roadmaps, and figure out exactly what weapons and echoes we need to start pre-farming. So, I turn the floor over to you guys with the big giveaway question. Which of these two completely distinct playstyles has you more hyped? Are you leaning toward the lightning-fast, high-flying sword riding of QINGXIAO? Or are you all in on the unkillable high HP defensive scaling of Jingran? Drop your answer in the comments below, make sure you are subscribed, and don't forget to include your UID so I can hook you up with that Lunite subscription when we cross the 300 sub line. I can't wait to read your team ideas. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.